grow tall and the river bends slow. There's a tavern that beckons where the warm firelights glow. The parsonage stands where it's always stood, through the rain and the ruin, through the bad and the good. So raise up your tankards to friends old and new, to Oakhaven's heart and the parsonage crew. Let the fire burn low, let the stories run long, for this is our home, and this is our song. There's Moira who tends to the bar every night, with a smile like a secret and eyes burning bright. And Boren who hammers till sparks fill the air, and a pig by the fire with a dignified stare. So raise up your tankards to friends old and new, to Oakhaven's heart and the parsonage crew. Let the fire burn low, let the stories run long, for this is our home, and this is our song. When the road calls and you wander away, remember the tavern at the end of the day. The door's always open, the hearth's always warm, the parsonage waits through the calm and the storm. Zigby had a master plan, he wrote it in his ledger. Phase 1 was hiding in a bush, Phase 2 involved a hedger. He'd swap old grubs, fat hens for birds, all dosed with foul concoction. The parsonage will reek, he cried, a flatulent destruction. But the goat, old Meredith the goat, she butted Zigby sideways, and she got him by the throat. Poor Grint stood in the muddy road, pretending he was lame, while Zigby crept towards the cart to play his chicken game. But Meredith said nothing, just fixed him with her eye. Then 80% of horn and hoof came charging from the sky. Oh, the goat, old Meredith the goat, the greatest guard in all the land, who never wore a coat. They fled back to their hollow, caked in mud and shame and newt. 5 chickens sitting useless, and a rooster on the hoot. General Cluxworth crowed in triumph from his branch up in the tree. The only soul in Zigby's camp who'd won a victory. Damn the goat, old Meredith the goat. And damn that rooster Cluxworth and his smug, defiant note. From the deep of the mountain, from the heart of the stone, the sons of the Ironholt march for the throne. With hammers held high and their beards full of frost, they fight for the honor their fathers once lost. March on, ye children of stone. Remembers the mountain stands strong, with hammer and honor, with fire and will. The sons of the Ironholt march onward still. Old Boren will tell you, if you buy him a drink, of the forges that burned at the world's very brink, where steel met the darkness and darkness was tamed, and every last dwarf knew the mountain by name. March on, ye children of stone. The mountain remembers, the mountain stands strong, with hammer and honor, with fire and will. The sons of the Ironholt march onward still. March on, the mountain stands Otter stood and raised his voice. The parsonage fell still. Hesterwinks for every soul on me. Now drink ye all your fill. The roar that shook those timber beams could wake the gods from sleep. Moira poured that golden devil's brew, swirling strange and deep. Oh, chaos in a bottle, pour it high. We're drinking like the gods tonight before we say goodbye. The road is long, the wilds are dark, the monastery calls, but tonight we shake the dust from every rafter, stone and wall. Caelan sang like dying cats, but Lord, the boy sang loud. Lyra taught the warlord's magic with a breadstick waved around. Eric pinned a lumberjack and wallowed in the cheers, while Boren dropped one single joke that left us all in tears. And Thomas, dry old Thomas, found a fern beside the wall. He argued points of politics, the plant conceded all. He won the finest debate that no one dared disturb. The only soul who Thomas bested was a decorative herb. Oh, chaos in a bottle, pour it high. We're drinking like the gods tonight before we say goodbye. The road is long, the wilds are dark, the monastery calls, but tonight we shake the dust from every rafter, stone and wall. Lyra set her sleeve on fire, climbing up the stairs. Eric's belt caught on the banister, but no one seemed to care. And Thomas shut his eyes and swore the spinning was too dire. We crawled to bed like heroes of the parsonage choir. But dawn came down like vengeance, and a goblin played the drums. It pounded every skull. Oh, what had we become? Lyra whispered, "Please, it hurts." Thomas cursed the sun, then otter fresh as mountain streams, uncorked a vial with his thumb. Gods bless hangover over, no reason to be glum. He gripped Moira's hand beside the bar. She said, "You must come back." He said, "The parsonage is yours." Then he shouldered up his pack. Eric hummed and Thomas sighed. The youngsters found their nerve and out they walked into the wilds for the glory they deserve. So raise a glass to chaos and the night we drank it down. Raise a glass to Otter's band, the toast of all the town. To Thomas and his potted friend, to Eric caught in snares, to youngsters green as springtime who drank the chaos down. For 100 years we'll sing the tale, and we'll toast them all around, to the night before they left us all, for the glory and the ground. I've sung of dragons, kings and war, but nothing tops what I saw at 4. In the morning, bleary-eyed, Eric's trousers taking flight. I stumbled out to take a leak and heard the roof begin to creak. I looked up and there they hung, his finest pants, his only ones. Oh, the trousers on the roof. I wrote a verse and then I wrote the truth. He came downstairs in a tablecloth dress and said it was tactical. I must confess, I laughed so hard I broke a string. He said, "Harlan, don't you dare." I said, "Eric, I'm a bard, it's only fair." By breakfast I had 7 verses done. By lunch I'd written verse 11. Oh, the trousers on the roof. I wrote a verse and then I wrote the truth. He came downstairs in a tablecloth dress and said it was tactical. I must confess, I laughed so hard I broke a string. grabbed my lute and said he'd snap it clean. So I wrote verse 18 about that scene. Now Dern requested every single night, and Eric sits there red-faced, gripping his pint. So if you ever lose your pants, my friend, don't tell the bard or it will never end. I'm Harlan and I'll sing until I drop, and Eric's trousers wave up on the top. Scoundrels, all I'll sing to ye a sweet refrain about the night a noble wandered in with mud upon his cane. His name Lord Pamplemore the third, a noble of great fame, with velvet on his shoulders and no clue where he had came. He looked about the parsonage, his eyes as wide as plates, and asked where he could sign the royal embassy's estates. Well, Thomas raised a knowing brow, and Eric cracked a grin, and Otter straightened up the bar and said, well, come ye right on in. No, we were laughing and a drinking and a scheming, not a thinking about the morning, just a playing and a praying for a rip-roaring raven, with the coin a-falling from his purse like rain. The night Lord Pamplemore came through the wrong door. We were bowing and a scraping and a forging and a faking, all the trade deals of a kingdom we were making. Oh, the night Lord Pamplemore came through the wrong door and tipped us all a fortune we'd not seen the like before. Well, Eric played the ambassador and bowed to every toast, and Thomas forged 3 treaties signed by dignitaries' ghosts. Our Otter stood beside the door, his arms across his chest, and looked so proud and fine and grand he passed the royal test. Old Pamplemore signed papers with a flourish of his pen, he signed them all to himself, then shook his hand again. He called for wine, the rarest sort, and Moira poured the house. He swore it was the finest drop between here and Thunder House. So we were laughing and a drinking and a scheming, not a thinking about the morning, just a playing and a praying for a rip-roaring raven, with the coin a-falling from his purse like rain. The night Lord Pamplemore came through the wrong door. We were bowing and a scraping and a forging and a faking, all the trade deals of a kingdom we were making. Oh, the night Lord Pamplemore came through the tavern door and tipped us all a fortune we'd not seen the like before. Now some will say the nobleman was fooled by our design, but I say he was welcome to a table warm and fine. And if the embassy had met him with its marble and its gold, they'd never give him half the night we did that night of old. Oh, Lord of Pamplemore, ye gilded fool, we came to adore. Come wandering on Tuesdays, we'll pour you all the more. The funny thing, the bit that still astounds, he came back the next Tuesday on purpose with more pounds. So raise your cups one more time I say, for every lost and found lordship that wandered in our way. Oh, we were laughing and a drinking and a scheming, not a thinking about the morning, just a playing and a praying for a rip-roaring raven, with the coin a-falling from his purse like rain. The night Lord Pamplemore came through the wrong door. We were bowing and a scraping and a forging and a faking, all the trade deals of a kingdom we were making. Oh, the night Lord Pamplemore came through and tipped us all a fortune we'd not seen the like before. One more time, you scoundrels! We were laughing and a-drinking and a-scheming, not a-thinking about the morning, just a-playing and a-praying for a rip-roaring raven with the coin a-falling from his purse like rain. The Night Lord Pathmore came through the tavern door. We were bowing and a-scraping and a-forging and a-faking all the trade deals of a kingdom we were making. Oh, the Night Lord Pathmore came through the tavern door and tipped us all a fortune we'd not seen the like before. Oh, pour me a glass of Old Hesterwinks, that squat little bottle that swirls as it winks. It's nutty and bitter, then warm in your chest, and every fool drinking believes he's the best. So raise up your tankard and slam down your coin. Let Moira uncork it and let chaos join. Old Eric, he downed it and bellowed, huzzah! While Thomas turned pale and said, oh dear, oh la. But Otter just grinned with that lopsided face and swore he once charmed a griffin with grace. So raise up your tankard and slam down your coin. Let Moira uncork it and let chaos join. Young Zigbee once drank it and took to the stage. His inspired great vision became inspired rage. He cursed every patron and insulted the crowd, then woke in a ditch, composing aloud. So raise up your tankard and slam down your coin. One round of Hesterwinks, then ale until morn. Something sleeps that once was known. It held the world upon its back and closed its eyes and turned to black. Dream of wards and dream of chains. Of what below remains. Sleep now, do not wake. For all our sakes, for all our sakes. and shed no tears. Dream of wards and dream of chains. Dream of what below remains. Sleep now, do not wake. For all our sakes, for all our sakes. And Moira tends the bar alone, and pours a glass for the man of stone. She tells him how the day has been, and prays the seal will hold again. Below the floor, below the stone, something sleeps that is not